functioning adult, or do you have the pile? I have the pile.
Hello and good morning.
Good morning, BBs. It's too early.
It sure is.
I'll be right back.
Don't forget to close the door.
Yeah.
Welcome to first, best, and only morning news show in existence. I'm Saige Ryan.
I'm Anthony Carboni.
That's true. And hi, everybody. Friday.
Hey, eat shit, Supreme Court of the United States.
Yeah,
Hey.
I guess that's a good place to start.
Hey, when you're making rulings that go against 80% of the population that those rulings affect, you're wrong. You're wrong.
So yeah, I guess we'll start with fuck America today, I suppose. Fuck the United States Supreme Court. Fuck every Supreme Court justice that voted against my bodily autonomy, and fuck it all.
Yeah. And the bodily autonomy is new. That's this morning. But let me tell you something. They don't care what states want to do about gun control in those states. They've decided they can overrule that, even though with regards to women's bodily autonomy, they say, well, we can't rule on that. That's up to the states. Do you see what's going on here? Do you see what's going on here? What they're actually saying is, we are a bench.
Farmers.
We are a bench full of justices that have one particular type of political philosophy, and we've decided that political philosophy is right, thereby completely destroying the entire purpose of the Supreme Court.
Here's what I will also say. It's not political philosophy. Please remove your opinion and your religion out of my uterus. Get fucked. That's not politics. That's not your political opinion. It is simply not your opinion to have. It doesn't belong to you.
You could just carry a gun into a school now if you want. If you want to. Nobody, not that we were stopping that before very well here in the United States, but now it's officially just like, hey man, go ahead. Where do you want to take that gun? Here's one place where you can't carry a gun. The chambers of the Supreme Court.
How interesting. Same way that you couldn't bring guns into the last NRA meeting after that big school shooting.
A very interesting thing is, they've also recently made legislation, I'm sure you remember, that says, oh, no. People need their right to protest right outside of an abortion clinic, but you cannot protest outside of my house or my neighborhood.
Correct.
Because that's rude to me as a justice.
I also want to say Lanky Dragoon said guns have more rights in this country than people. Yeah. I will adjust that slightly in that guns have more rights than women, people of color, disabled people. It is exclusively marginalized people because the white men got it all, man.
We've also seen rapid erosions of the separation of church and state. No surprise this week. A main program that basically it excludes religious schools from state tuition. What they say is basically, hey, if you are going to a religious private school, we don't give you state funds for that. That's not something you can apply for state funds for. Makes sense. Not only is it a private school, it's a religious private school. The Supreme Court went ahead and said, oh, no. You have to give state funds to those private religious schools.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, so I'm at where Not the Lysander's at, which is ruin the lives of every one of these people. They do not deserve peace. I wish them not a moment of restful sleep. I wish them screams outside of their windows to every hour until my basic human rights are restored. I wish them not to be able to go out in public without having things actively thrown at them. I wish them to fear for their safety as they should, as they have endangered mine. I don't think that any one of the Republicans that voted in favor of this, nor any of the Republicans that placed these Supreme Court justices, and much less even the Supreme Court justices themselves, I wish them no safety for the rest of their just absolutely fucking Satan-willing life.
With that said, good morning, everybody. It's too early. Lovely to see you. This is a gaming news show about video games. But, you know, as much as we say that we are not the people to come to for your political news,
we also have to exist in this world.
We also exist in the world, and we have some opinions on the political news. And you know what? Here's what I'm going to say. The government doesn't care if they're qualified to talk about shit. So maybe we'll just talk about shit. Other than that, how's life? How's things?
Just talk about the Thor red carpet, Anthony.
Yeah, I did the Thor red carpet last night. It was very fun. Had a great time. Thank you to Marvel Studios for having me. It was my very first Marvel red carpet. I do want to say, Saige, I posted a goof.
You did.
I posted a goof before I did the red carpet.
I saw your goof. Funny goof.
Pretty good goof, I thought. What's funny is a lot of people, particularly dudes,
shocking,
thought they understood the goof, but they did not understand the goof. They were doing responses to the goof without really understanding what the goof is. And I feel like a lot of these people are the sort of people that would be very gatekeepy about fandom.
Yeah.
And yet, they did not understand the joke. And I found that to be very funny because I didn't even expect it to be a very clever joke. I didn't think it was very clever at all. I thought it was very obvious.
Your NDI is not working.
We don't have
How about
NDI.
mine?
So I was like getting my notes ready for my first Marvel red carpet. I think I've got it. And I have these notes for Thor. And it says, Thor, blonde one, Chris, throws a thing that comes back to him, fought Thanos. The joke being, that's multiple Chris's and multiple characters in the Marvel Universe.
Roll that intro one more time.
That's the joke.
Yep.
But a lot of people thought the joke was just like, we're listing things about Thor. And so people were like, this is another thing about Thor. And I'm like, come on, guys.
Nice.
Come on, guys. So then I turned the game into when people responded with things like, strongest Avenger, I'd be like, I'm pretty sure his nickname is America's Ass.
Here's the difference, Anthony. I just have to acknowledge, that's what happened when you posted it. If I had posted it.
Oh, no, that's not a joke that you post.
If
No.
I had posted that. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's not... If Tamara or Erica, my co-hosts on the red carpet, who are very knowledgeable about comics and pop culture. Tamara has hosted literally every Marvel red carpet. They would have gotten extremely different responses. But all I got was some people who just thought they got the joke and they didn't. Dianu, for that I am grateful. But the carpet itself was very good. I had a lot of fun. The cast and crew it was a very fun cast and crew, obviously. I mean, the Ragnarok team and the Love and Thunder team are just the most lovely, fun people.
How delightful.
There were some things I could, of course, always, there are some things I can't ask and some things I can't do. I was not allowed to ask Star-Lord about Garfield or Mario, which was a bummer. And I couldn't ask anybody if it was Morbin time.
You couldn't ask one person if it was Morbin time?
I was not allowed to ask anybody if it was Morbin time.
That's fucked, man.
I mean, and fellas, it's Morbin time.
We don't even know.
Like,
now we don't know.
Where's the Morbin time? Lady Sif, yeah, Jamie Alexander. She was hilarious and perfect. We love Lady Sif. And she was amazing. She was like, she immediately started making the jokes of, I'm not allowed to say anything. I don't know what we're going to do for the next 5 minutes. I was like, well, what can you say? She's like, there are swords. I was like, it says on my card that we can't talk about swords. And she's like, come on. They were all lovely. Christian Bale, I've never spoken to Christian Bale before.
Oh.
And that was very cool.
Yeah.
And he laid a fact on us that was very wonderful.
Go on.
Christian Bale clued us in to the fact that, now, one thing I'm going to say to set this up, Gore the God Butcher, you are going to love. You would think maybe that you would not. You would think maybe, oh, Christian Bale will do a good job with this, but the character's name is Gore the God Butcher. I get like one-note character, very weird. No. Christian Bale has more fun than I think I've seen anybody have playing an enemy in the Marvel Universe. He's very good. He makes very good Christian Bale choices. But something that he let us in on, this is how wild this movie and Gore the God Butcher are. Gore the God Butcher had a dance number that got cut.
Wow.
He had a fancy Gore the God Butcher dance that he did. And he was like, we practiced like this Gore the God Butcher dance. And like, he said, like, I'm not going to do his accent because he really does sound like a Dickensian street urchin when he's in Christian Bale mode. Okay. Which I guess is his normal mode. But he was like, we practiced this dance. I taught like my doubles how to do the dance. So we had like 3 Gores doing this dance. And it was incredible. Like, and because Taika just really wanted this guy to have a dance, and we were like, yeah, that's a great idea. And so we made it up together on the spot, and it was like very intricate because he's also like, he was a Broadway baby. So he's a triple threat, Christian Bale.
Of course.
And then I asked Taika about it, and Taika, I was like, can you tell us about it or show us anything about it? And he was like, or show us a little bit. He's like, absolutely not, because Christian Bale, as you know, copyrights every piece of choreography that he makes. He holds his dancing very near and dear to his heart.
That makes perfect sense.
Everybody was wonderful. Tessa Thompson looks like a beautiful trapper keeper from the future. Her dress was made of like this crazy textured, like shiny fabric that was absolutely wonderful. Just lovely. Overall, would you recommend the newest Thor? Here's what I'm going to tell you. Thor Ragnarok is my favorite MCU film. Thor Love and Thunder is the people who made Thor Ragnarok and were like incredibly surprised by how well it was received going even further. And I love it. Look at her. She's a beautiful trapper keeper. You can't tell from that picture, but it's like, it has like textured, almost like, you know, those lenticular things, like lenticular cards where you go like this and they animate. It has like the lenticular texture. It was amazing. And she was so wonderful, and in such, like, everybody was in such great spirits, and you can tell they really, listen, I've worked a lot of red carpets and I've talked to a lot of crews of a lot of movies. You can tell when they're saying that they all love working together, and then you can tell when they really love working together. And that crew really loves working together. Karen Gillan was wonderful, and I never got to talk to her because by the time when I did Doctor Who stuff the first time, she wasn't part of Doctor Who yet. Mm-hmm. And then when I did Doctor Who stuff the second time, we had already moved on to Clara, so I never got to speak to Karen Gillan before, and she is a joy.
That's great. And
everybody was having so much fun. I had a great time. I have lingering symptoms of COVID, which I don't think are long COVID, but are certainly, they're weird. Like, I'm tired a lot and my brain is real scattered. So I was really worried that I was all over the place, but I feel like it actually went smoothly, and it was a lot of fun.
That's great.
Who knows? But you're gonna love the movie. There are goats, space goats.
I have a story relevant to something you were not allowed to ask. There was a very funny comment in the chat from Lots of Kittens that I won't read out to not get you in trouble.
Oh, the trouble is over. I can't get in trouble now.
Lots of Kittens said, "Did you have a hard time not saying Chris Pratt?" I would have slipped up.
No, I did not.
See,
listen, he's he was very charming. And he's very good with the crowd, and he's very good with the fans, and he did a great job. However, there are questions still about him and his Mario voice.
So, obviously, everybody has been freaking out about Chris Pratt playing Mario, and apparently, he found out. He just found out that people were,
Who told Chris Pratt that we didn't want him to be?
You have to stop telling Chris Pratt anything.
You don't let Chris Pratt know.
Don't let Chris Pratt know anything. Please, we're begging you. And he responded about the criticism of his voice, saying things like, it's going to be good. I fucking shut up. Basically. What he did say actually was that it's going to be unlike anything you've heard in the Mario world, which is not a good thing.
I don't know that that's the way you want to phrase that. What we're looking for is, will he sound like Mario? And what you're saying is, it's going to sound like nothing you've ever heard before. But the problem is, I've heard Mario.
I've heard Mario before, and Mario sounds good. It's an animated voiceover narrative. It's not a live action movie. I'm not going to be wearing a plumber suit and running all over. I'm providing a voice for an animated character, and it is updated and unlike anything you have heard in the Mario world before.
Now, this actually clears everything up for me. I thought that he was going to be running around in a plumber suit.
You thought he was going to be putting on a plumber suit and running all over?
That's the problem that we all had with it.
Yeah.
And now that I know that an animated movie means it's a cartoon and he won't be there, it's all better. I think about, there's a bit that somebody let me know about that when Charles Martinet was auditioning for Mario, he came in, he had no idea what it was. And they were like, you're playing an Italian plumber, just kind of riff and like let us know. And he's like, and he said he literally did a voice that was like, hey, it's me, Mario. I'm under your sink. And like he literally said that. Like, I'm under your sink. I'm looking at your pipes. I'm Mario. And they were like, but for kids. And he went, oh, but for kids. I think of that every time I hear about Chris Pratt being Mario.
Yeah.
I think about like what's going on, because it's good, and especially when you say it's going to be like nothing you've ever heard before.
It's updated. You know, Italian voices, too old. It's not updated. There's no Italian accents anymore.
Now, what you may not know is that no new Italians are born, nor do they die. They are simply... There's a set number of Italians, of which I am one, and we are all 55 years old forever. Hey.
He's not old like an Italian accent.
Oh, hey, oh.
Updated. I can't.
I also just think of the Super Mario sex ed video.
Yeah.
I just think of that. It's like, hey, it's a heaping helping of spaghetti, pasta fagioli. Here's my brother Luigi to explain it to you. Marinara. Hello, Mario. It is I, Luigi. I'm going to have you move in again just a little bit. Just a little. Yeah. The Mario, okay, people are like, what? There is a viral video. Somebody made it. It's a gag. It's a parody. But if you look up Super Mario Sex Ed, don't do it now. You're watching us right now.
We'll drop it in the Discord for after so you can watch it after.
Don't you watch it right now. If you're good during the show, you can have a little treat and watch the Super Mario Sex Ed video, guest starring Captain and the Game Master. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've heard some things about the Mario film, which I am not allowed to divulge.
Sure.
That tells me we don't need to worry as much about the Chris situation as we think we do.
Because there's other things to worry about?
No, because for reasons that I cannot share. But
all right. I'll make him share after the show privately.
Yeah.
Jilly Bean said, I need to know which Saige is saying. Is it Crisp Brat or Crisp Rat? It is Crisp Rat. He's a crispy little rat. And he said that in the most condescending way he possibly could.
Yeah, like...
I'm not putting on a little hat and a plumber suit. I'm not gonna be running all about as Mario.
Also,
I'm doing a modern
when you watch a movie, the little people aren't running around on your TV. It's not like I'm there. Okay, Chris, I think you're just getting farther and farther away from what our actual concerns are. Listen, Yoshi the dinosaur isn't real. Dinosaurs have been gone. I know about dinosaurs because of my hit acting as me in Dinosaur.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
It wasn't a hit. It's actually performing really terribly.
Oh.
Nobody's liking the movie.
Can I tell you something? Saige, about the new dinosaur movie?
You may.
I haven't seen the new dinosaur movie, but here's what I'm going to tell you about the new.
Maybe you may not.
I don't know. Look, it took me a long time to see the fifth dinosaur movie. Here's the thing about the sixth dinosaur movie. They didn't give that little girl dinosaur powers.
Oh, that's fucked.
They didn't give her dinosaur powers. Listen, that girl should have had dinosaur powers by the end of the fifth movie. That girl should have had crazy dinosaur powers. She should have had raptor claws that came out, or like night vision, or she should have jumped like 20 feet in the air. Like, you don't make a dinosaur clone girl. That's Chekhov's dinosaur clone girl. If you put dinosaur DNA in the girl in Act 1, by Act 3, she must be tearing someone's throat out.
Right. Well, unsurprisingly, a swing and a miss. All right, let's get into the rest of the news, shall we?
Talking about some other classic video game mascots. You know that Sonic the Hedgehog? He's Mario's friend. They go to the Olympics together.
I do.
Sonic Origins came out, and it's out. So here's the deal. People were very excited about Sonic Origins. This is, of course, once again, a collection of the original 3 Sonic games. There's nowhere else you can get these. There's no platform you can get them on.
This before.
This is unprecedented. Where are you going to get Sonic 1, 2, and 3 if you want them?
Oh, the last collection?
What platform will you play them on? Who knows? The thing that was exciting about this, of course, is it's the first one to have Sonic and Knuckles, which they usually don't throw in.
Love to see.
Yeah. And they also have Sonic 3 and Knuckles in there, which they don't normally do.
Great.
The lock-on technology is usually not emulated.
We love to see the Knuckles love.
It also contains Sonic CD, which is great, and it's based on the Sonic CD remaster that was originally made by Christian Whitehead. Christian Whitehead, of course, went on to make Sonic Mania. This Sonic CD remaster was something that Christian did to make it widescreen, to make it run well, tiny little updates to functionality and things like that, and they used that as the basics for Sonic Origins. Here's the problem. Sonic Origins is busted? It's a little broken, I guess, is the problem.
Alex, how dare you?
And it's just, there are a lot of technical issues. There are weird issues with music. There are weird issues graphically. Strange things are going on. And one of the developers over at Headcanon, which is Christian Whitehead's studio, said, we're pissed about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't us. We didn't do it. This is totally like, we turned it in. Really?
Really, I suppose.
Really? We turned it in a way better state than it actually went to retail in, and we don't understand how. And he goes on to say, look, and this wasn't Christian Whitehead, this was the director of it, Simon Tomley. And Simon Tomley said, like, yo, there were some problems. I'm not going to say that we didn't do it. We're a small studio, and Sega gave us no time to do this. But the problems that were there were very small, and we actually asked to fix them via updates and right up until certification, all this stuff. And Sega was like, no, we're good. And then somehow, by putting all the games together and releasing them, Sega added more problems to it.
Incredible.
This is, man, it's hard to be as large of a Sega fan as I am. Do you know what I mean?
They make it really difficult.
They make it extremely tough.
I fully understand.
They make it very hard to be like, I love Sega. I can't. I can't.
We love Sega, but Sega is our out-of-touch relative, you know?
Yeah. Like, Sega, we remember, like, Sega's was our cool friend in high school. Mm-hmm. And we were just like, that guy was so cool. And not only was he cool, like, he was super cool to me.
Yeah.
And like, he made everybody better just by being around. Yeah. And then, like, after high school, they just don't get traction as an adult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He just couldn't quite get his footing as an adult.
Yeah. And whenever you come back into town, they're there and they're like working part-time doing something. And you're just like, what's going on, man? Come on. Like, rally.
Yeah.
You've got it in you.
You had all these ideas. What happened to all your ideas? I brought you a sketchbook. Why don't you... No?
You used to love to draw. No.
Sega did peak in high school.
Sega,
That's
absolutely.
the thing. Now, an irrelevant piece of news that's not news at all. For a quick moment on the internet, everyone was absolutely convinced that Yuji Naka had told us that Michael Jackson helped compose the Sonic 3 soundtrack.
Now, this is something that has been sort of passed around, and it has sort of been like legendary knowledge and colloquial knowledge. There was this idea that a lot of the you can hear a lot of the melodies from Michael Jackson's Dangerous album in Sonic 3, and the story goes that he was working on the Sonic 3 soundtrack, but he got busy, and he also felt like the sound abilities of the Genesis were just a little too limited, and so did not continue to make the soundtrack.
Right.
This was the story, and Yuji Naka finally came out and said, yes, what everybody's been saying is pretty correct. Yes.
Well, kinda. We don't really know. So Yuji Naka said, happy 31st birthday to Sonic. Sega official is playing Michael Jackson songs on Sonic. I'm surprised. Is it a sign? And then, quote, retweeted himself and said, Sega official uses Michael Jackson's music, means this. And then followed up again and said, I feel like I'm being misunderstood a lot, probably because I don't speak English and I'm using a translation tool. Sorry. So the rumor started spreading like wildfire, and he's trying to put it out and be like, that's not what I meant to say. Hey, somebody help Yuji Naka translate his tweets. I don't understand why somebody can't help Yuji Naka communicate what he's trying to communicate if he's going to communicate it in English, or don't post it in English. We can translate. Can
somebody please help Yuji Naka do two things? Tweet and make a game. Could somebody please just help Yuji Naka to make a game instead of trying to hinder him while he's making a game? And can somebody also just translate his tweets? Now listen, what does this actually mean? Does this mean we know that Sega and Michael Jackson had a pretty tight partnership back in the day? We know that Michael Jackson wound up in Space Channel 5, did some choreography for Space Channel 5. If you went to a Sega arcade in Japan, there was like a Michael Jackson simulator ride. Listen, they had to like pull all that stuff back because it turns out, I don't know if any of y'all heard this, Michael Jackson was up to some shit. This is wild. I don't know if you heard. Breaking news. I don't know if y'all heard. Michael Jackson was up to some shit, so they had to walk all that back.
Bro, so much going on.
But maybe like, I guess maybe what they're saying is because Michael Jackson was like tight with Sega, they were allowed to use some of his music in Sonic 3? Is that what Yuji Naka's trying to say?
I don't know, and he's confused, and we're confused, and I think everyone just needs to give Yuji Naka a little space to breathe right now, because he seems stressed.
Look, so is it a geese fire, a Greek fire, a grease fire? What is going on in the chat?
Okay, so that's the thing. Alex said he started a geese fire in his own kitchen. On accident.
Listen, if you're not watching these live and you're not in this live studio audience, I'm telling you,
you got to get up at 8 a.m. and do this.
We give them all caffeine and cigarettes and candy.
Yeah. We were just passing out pixie sticks before the show.
Hey,
I do have my 8 a.m. Dr. Pepper in this cup. It's that kind of day.
Listen, everybody shut up. There's a lot of confusion going on, and the confusion...
Not from Yuji Naka. This is new confusion.
Yeah, listen, I'm sorry. I let you know about the confusion in a confusing way.
Yay.
Thereby probably adding to the confusion. This is new confusion, which is different than the previous confusion that we were talking about. Mm-hmm. Everybody let me know if you're confused, and we'll clear it up. The confusion, Saige, actually comes from the PS Plus tiers and catalog.
I told you, I called it. When they announced the tiers and what they were and who was getting converted and what the fuck was happening, I was like, this is the most confusing shit on the planet. This is ridiculous. The names are too similar. The differences between them are too, like,
it was
minuscule,
the most Sony thing. Sony has the ability to screw up any product they launch this way.
What a special ability.
It's an amazing ability.
I want that as a feat in Dungeons and Dragons.
They start so many geese fires. They start geese fires in their own kitchen all the time. they can't name anything and they can't communicate anything. They make great games and they make great products, but I'll be damned if they can tell you what they are. Now, here's the problem with the PS Plus catalog. Now, I'm going to try to explain it, and here's the problem. It's hard to explain.
Just explain the story of the Buzz Lightyear movie instead.
Sure. So, it's not Buzz Lightyear that you know. What it is the kid from Toy Story was a fan of Buzz Lightyear because Buzz Lightyear was a character within Toy Story, but this is not set in the Toy Story universe. Mm-hmm. This is about a man who's based on the man that the kid from Toy Story was a fan of before he got the toy.
But originally we had canonized that the toy was based on a cartoon, and the cartoon is not mentioned, so we're not sure if the toy is actually based on a cartoon, and the cartoon is based off of the person.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's what's up with PlayStation.
That's basically what's going on. So PlayStation has Essential, Extra, Premium, right? Essential is basically you can play online and you get the 3 free games a month. PlayStation Extra is basically like the back catalog of 400 of the most recent PS4 and PS5 games. And then PlayStation Premium has PS2, PS3, and PSP stuff, right? Okay. That seems pretty clear. Except, what do you do when a game is a remake? Aha! Now, you would think if the game is a remake for the PS4, it would simply be part of the tier where you get PS4 games, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Because it's not the PS2 version of the game, it's the PS4 version. It's a remake, it's a remaster. It's totally new.
Yes.
No!
You get that on the PS2 one?
Sometimes you do, and sometimes you do not. So here's what's up. Saints Row Remastered and Demon's Souls are in Extra, where you would expect them. They're with the PS4 games. They're with the PS4 and PS5 games, okay?
Okay.
The BioShock and Last of Us remakes are only in Premium.
Is it just about the remakes they like the most?
It seems like it absolutely is about which ones have we just released, which ones were more expensive to make, which ones do we want you to pay extra for?
Which ones do we think you'll pay extra for?
And people are like, this is completely arbitrary. I no longer know what I'm actually paying for.
Don't know what to sign up for.
BioShock The Last of Us should really be in that blockbuster PS4 camp, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wild Arms and Tekken 2 should be in the premium where you play the classic games. This is easy. This is simple.
It's not easy and it's not simple. You have to sign up for the premium unless you want the plus, unless you want the extra exclusives, unless you want a remaster, then you would have to get into the different for the old game, unless that game is now new. And
so
also,
Buzz Lightyear is fictional, but also based on a real person within one universe,
right,
that then gets a movie made about them in another universe.
Right. Anyways, let's talk about where you can very clearly buy some games.
Have you even checked out your PS Plus yet, or is it just like you just feel like? I feel like whenever we read a story like this, you just look at it and you're just like, "This, I don't even want to look at
This
it."
pushes me further away every time
because it's
PlayStation
funny.
is really pushing me away
because you have all this stuff. What happened was Saige was part of the PS Now, which is gone. To play Dead by Daylight, right?
No, it was to play Until Dawn.
To play Until Dawn. So you got converted over to PlayStation Plus, I believe, Extra?
I don't know!
So you have a ton of free stuff, and it's just sitting there, but it's like, I don't even want to look at it.
It's too confusing.
It make me sleepy to think.
I'm tired even thinking about it.
It made me so sleepy to know what free game I have.
I'm just tired even thinking about it now. I don't want to. Don't make it harder to play. Right, don't make it harder to play the things. But instead, I'll go spend a bunch of money on my Switch.
He actually said, pay the things. He's doing a runner now. It's a geese fire, and he's paying the things. We're all doing great this morning.
All right. Here's where you can very clearly pay the thing. The Switch Summer Sale is here. A bunch of games is on sale. You got 30% off of Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Maker 2, Paper Mario Origami King, Link's Awakening, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Those are down from their normal $60 to $42.
Great. A bunch of others.
Bunch of stuff's down to like $30, $45. Hades is on sale for $15. That's a pretty good deal for that. Skyrim, if you want to buy it for the 100th time, is $30.
Here's the thing. Every time I buy Skyrim, I'm just like, great, I have Skyrim. Every time they want me to buy Sonic 1 and 2 again, I'm just like, eat shit.
How dare you?
Fuck you.
Lego Skywalker Saga's down to $45. Here's the thing. They did choose like relevant, good, interesting games that people are playing right now. And I am very happy to see that. It's just not a huge discount. It's that 30% off. That sits right in that amount for me where I'm like, it's enough. 20, it's not enough. When something's 20% off, I don't care.
Look, the Switch tax is real. It's real. This is some money off the Switch tax, but some of these games are going to be obviously cheaper to get on other platforms, particularly, Steam, because that summer sale is live.
Hey, the Steam summer sale is here. And like, as much as we could like go through the Steam summer sale games, you know how big the Steam summer sale is.
It's going to be 87,000 things, but here are some highlights. Ghostwire Tokyo is 50% off. So if you haven't tried Ghostwire Tokyo yet, worthwhile. It's down to $29.99. Monster Hunter Rise is down to $30. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, which I'm gonna keep saying, probably the best fucking Lego game and maybe the best Star Wars game.
It was so much fun.
I've
only played a little bit of it, but I've had an excellent time with it.
That's down to $37. V Rising, which a lot of people are playing right now, is under $20. Dragon's Dogma is $5. If you haven't crawled around on a pig, this is the best way to crawl around on a pig. The PC version of God of War is down to $40. Persona 4 Golden is $14.99, and that is one of my favorite games of all time. Dead Cells is $13. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Also doing something strange with the summer sale here.
Always.
They've got like a weird thing going on, this Steam 3000 bit.
It's always like weird. They always have like weird collectibles and digital things that I don't understand. And it's like if you get 9 cards out of 17, you get this.
Yeah. They want you to do a thing where you click it and you get clues. My first clue was you'll find riches and rhythm and fame in 6 strings, but beware the tax burden axe mystery brings. So you're supposed to, I guess, solve
Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's Sonic the Hedgehog, performed by Michael Jackson.
And that's canon.
Ooh, found all 10 hidden future games. Dichotic. What did you get? Did you get free game?
They usually give you like a weird thing, like you get a cool new Steam avatar or something, and I'm just like, I never want to see a Steam avatar of anybody.
No.
Every time the little Steam pop-up window comes up, I'm like, I swear to God, I went into the registry and removed that.
All the clues lead to fake game pages, but you get heaps of cosmetics. All right.
Steam cosmetics. Okay, and I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum here. Do y'all care about Steam cosmetics?
No.
Is that a thing? Like, I know you don't. I'm asking them.
I speak for the people. No.
I'm the voice of the people.
I was right, though.
It's very strange. But, if people are having fun with it, everybody likes a little ARG. But you know what's better than an ARG? An RPG.
Oh, the transitions, Anthony.
I'm on it today. It's Free RPG Day tomorrow. This is a great thing. If you're not familiar with Free RPG Day, here's the way it works. Go to a cool comic book or bookstore near you that's participating.
Just a game shop.
Pick up free tabletop RPGs.
Yeah.
Go home, play them with friends. The end.
That's Free RPG Day. Hey, you're probably familiar with Free Comic Book Day, which is significantly larger than Free RPG Day is. A very similar concept. You just get to go in, and a lot of stores will have their own individual exclusives for what it is that's free at their store. My friend Ross from Steamforged posted this. We've done a bunch of Steamforged things. We did their Dark Souls the other day. Not sponsored to say this, promise. But they do have some stuff that is going out for free RPG Day.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
There's a free Cyberpunk module that's coming out that you can grab and take home with you. One of the biggest ones is, oh my gosh, the free. I'll tell you what is not great is the free RPG Day site. Let me see if maybe now NDI works.
No.
Okay. So some of the biggest ones that they have, Steamforge is one of the big ones. Talsorian is, of course, releasing Cyberpunk Easy Mode, which is a quick start mission, and it's absolutely great. And believe me, if you haven't played Cyberpunk before, do yourself a favor, start with Easy Mode. Too many math in Cyberpunk, even though it's like one of my favorite RPG systems.
Yeah.
And all I ever want to do is play Cyberpunk. It's like you got to sit down with a slide rule and an astrolabe.
On this website, they do have some of the sneak peeks. One of the interesting ones, A Familiar Problem by Marisha Ray and Grant Howitt. Grant Howitt, of course, is behind Honey Heist and a bunch of incredible short or one-page RPGs. I have played more than I can count of Grant Howitt's games.
And also, I think Grant Howitt is behind Spire, which is like The City Must Fall, which is like that huge RPG that everybody's like really into right now.
Renegade is still TBD, but Talsorian Games. There's so many of these like huge companies that are participating in this.
One of the ones that I think is really interesting, Saige, if you click on Oni Press, Oni Press is giving away, and this is huge, Rolled and Told Volume 1. This is a $30 book that is a mix of comics and modules that are 5e compatible. That they're just giving it away.
Oh, Talon Hill Quick Start for Root. That's great. So yeah, go get yourself some free RPGs.
Yeah.
Have a fucking blast.
But I'll tell you what, also, definitely check out itch.io. I'm sure a lot of developers are going to be giving away their stuff for free RPG Day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, if you're unfamiliar with the Grant Howitt stuff, Grant Howitt has a lot of his one-pagers up on itch.io, and they are extremely fun.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You can still participate even if you don't have a local game store or your local game store is not participating themselves. You can participate on the internet.
Listen, like most things, if you don't want to go out into the terrible, terrible world, you can participate on the internet.
Tomorrow.
We had let's actually, listen, I'm going to be real with y'all. We had the Xenoblade Direct, and it was a big Direct. They showed off a lot. It's very interesting. I don't care about Xenoblade. And I just, as far as talking about Xenoblade, here's what I can tell you. Because I know people care about it. And I didn't watch the Direct because you said you were doing it. That's totally fine because you don't care about Xenoblade either. The Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is basically sort of a soft reboot. They want to get people in who have never played before. It's going to be all new characters. Some of the systems look different. One thing that I can tell you is absolutely the same, and I'm so glad. This is the only thing I enjoy about Xenoblade Chronicles. All of the actors are using their fake as hell dinner theater British accents.
Hell yeah.
All of the characters in Xenoblade are like, "Oi, governor, it's Tuesday, isn't it? It's time to fight with a great axe and sword, it is." And then the main character is like, "Yes, and I too am a British man that's definitely British, and I will save the British monsters of swords or whatever."
Look, as failed save's own Effie, I can't complain about bad British accent.
No, but here's the thing about doing it in a tabletop show set in a fantasy world versus doing it with every single character in your giant AAA release. The important thing about doing it in a tabletop show is not that the accent is good, it's that the accent is consistent.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're doing an accurate British accent.
It isn't even
because Effie isn't from England. Effie is from magical worlds.
Effie is removed from the space-time continuum. We did sit down at the table the other day for the first time in months now.
It's got some wild, we haven't seen each other in a while
It's got some wild,
energy.
we haven't seen each other in a while energy. But every one of us sat down and went, the fuck did our character sound like?
Yeah. Yeah. Except, like, I took the very easy way out. with Chirp. Chirp is just higher than my voice.
Yeah.
It's just me, but higher. But like
Dazzle was my voice, but
yeah.
Effie is not.
It was really funny to watch, particularly Gina, which was like Gina was just like, the accent is
Puppy.
and then she was into it, but it was very funny. Yeah. Kaylee is in the live studio audience too, and she was like, yeah. Ella. Southern. What kind of Southern was it?
Right.
It was, you know what? That kind of Southern is basically, this is dumb acting thing, but like, there's RP, which is like the standard British accent.
Uh-huh.
And so if you ask an actor to do
RP is technically like a fancy British
right.
accent.
But if you ask an actor to do a British accent, they will go into RP. That's the
only
default.
one I can vaguely lightly do.
And the Southern accent that Kaylee does as Ella is what I would consider, as somebody who grew up from the South, the RP of Southern accents. I hear it most from actors. It's not that it's not real, but I can't quite place it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a posh British.
It's a fantasy world.
It's a fantasy world. She's a turtle. She's not from the South.
Hey, everybody. Anyways, we're going to keep going. This isn't news, and I'm going to talk about it anyways.
Hey, eat shit. This isn't news. Hey, if you came here for news, close your eyes. Close them, because this isn't news.
Dall-E is this AI that everybody's been having a great time with. There's been an incredible Twitter account that's been sharing a bunch of them. I've played around on it, certainly.
People are having too good a time with Dall-E, I think. Dall-E is like, I saw a great tweet that was like, Dall-E is just all of y'all doing the worst Family Guy jokes. Where it's just like, you remember that time Shrek was at a barbecue? Or this is just like that time that Super Mario and Kevin Spacey went to the opera. And it's just like, yeah, everybody really is just doing that with Dall-E.
Sure, I guess. But a lot of people are also doing excellent things with it and having a lot of fun with it and doing funny shit. But Kotaku put together something that I think is very fun, which is they created all the sequels that we'll never get in Dall-E. So, for instance, Half-Life 3.
Yeah, that's Half-Life 3. I believe it.
Dall-E is one of those that when you zoom out and you see all 9 of them on the page at the same time, you're like, this is pretty fucking good. Like, that looks actually really incredible. And then you zoom in and you're like,
oh. So there are a couple things that like Dall-E won't do that makes Dall-E even more fun. One of like the ethical things about Dall-E is they will not do faces and they will not do specific faces. So that's why every Dall-E face looks like a nightmare, is because they don't want people to use it for deep faking and things like that.
Interesting.
So that's
faking.
that's why all of the faces look like really weird. You do better with something like this.
Titanfall 3, this looks great. Again, when you zoom in and you start seeing the details, it becomes a lot funnier, but like, that's really good.
Now, this is also Dall-E Mini, which is the one that everybody has access to. And what they're really doing with Dall-E Mini is they're using all of us to train their AI.
Yes.
Dall-E and Dall-E 2, which is the newest one, are under like limited access for specific people right now. So we're getting like the improv show of Dall-E, right? Like we're not getting like the comedian's best work. We're getting like, somebody give me a job and a location.
Yeah. This one's New Dino Crisis.
I heard New Dino Crisis.
Hey, Bully 2?
Please, Bully 2.
Come on, that's good. Mass Effect Andromeda 2?
Okay, I mean, those faces actually look accurate to Mass Effect Andromeda.
Look at this thing. It looks like they put a blobfish's face on an alien robot.
Same with Mass Effect Andromeda. So this is working very well.
Star Wars Republic Commando 2.
Please. What I do love about these sequels is it's like it's going back to like, so when it says make Half-Life 3, it's looking at Half-Life 2.
Of course.
And it's making the graphics look like Half-Life 2.
I love it.
So this still looks like, Republic Commando looks like a PS2 game, which I love.
This one was Knights of the Old Republic 3.
Love it.
Like, these are so cool.
Days Gone 2. Oh no, what did they do to our beautiful boy Sam's face? Zoom in on Sam Witwer's face, please. Oh
This one?
no. Oh
Or,
no.
You mean that one?
He was such a
Or do you
beautiful
mean that
boy.
one?
What did they do to his
That one?
jawline? Oh God. Oh no. He was
Too Human
40%
2?
jaw. Too Human 2.
Agent running on PS3.
I love that.
Anyways, you'll never get those sequels, and this is the best you're gonna get. Sucks.
Moving on to a little.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. But I think we got to do it. Hey, you know what? Actually, I think this is relevant. We were talking about how they were concerned that Dall-E would be used for deep faking. Let's talk about Amazon Alexa using the voices of your dead relatives.
Oh, I thought it was just haunted. Is that a feature? I was like, I have a haunted Alexa. The person that I bought it from on eBay said that it was a combo pack of a haunted doll and a haunted Alexa.
Okay, yeah.
And I got it. Listen, I got it for a really great price. As far as haunted dolls go, to get a haunted Alexa thrown in.
Trust me, I've tried.
Please. This is something that Amazon was talking about at their Mars conference, which is their annual conference where they talk about all of the terrible things that they're working on.
Yeah.
There's a part of Amazon that, of course, sells you toilet paper with free shipping. Mm-hmm. And then there is the part of Amazon that is working on the terrible nightmare creatures.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So during this Mars conference, and if you want to play a little bit of it, did you get your NDI working?
No, that's why I was like, good on you. But
got it. Okay. Essentially here they show Alexa reading a bedtime story to a child in his dead grandmother's voice, because that's what Amazon thinks that maybe Amazon should do next. Yes, as IGN put it, that is a Black Mirror episode.
Hey, this is a little more fucked up. This reminds me of like when, you remember when everybody had like a GPS in their car and it was like download hilarious voices for your GPS? Mm-hmm. And it's like, SpongeBob's going to tell you to turn left in 300 feet. You know what I mean? Like, this is applying a real voice that you recognize, because they would do it with celebrities. They'd be like Snoop Dogg as your, or Terry Crews or like whatever. Applying a voice that you recognize to robotic and horrible computer commands is the most terrifying thing. I don't want my grandmother's voice coming out of an Alexa. I doubt they could get her accent right, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But also, there's something, the insidiousness of this is really weird, right? Because another thing that that Amazon talked about was using more natural speech in your everyday at the Mars conference, where it's like, we want you to be able to like be a little more conversational with your AI and have your AI be like a wellness buddy too eventually. So where it's like your AI can, like, Alexa can check in on you and be like, hey, remember to like, you haven't gotten up in a little while. Do you want to like get up and walk around? Or like, you seem a little, like your mood seems a little bad. Do you want to like get some exercise? And the reason I hate this is because it's connected to the largest commerce company in the world.
Exactly. They're like, hey, let me ship you something for it.
I don't want my grandmother's voice telling me, you seem a little sad. Here's a product that might help.
It's like, it's the equivalent of Netflix's do you want to keep watching? Like, are you still watching? And that all hurts our feelings when we get it.
Don't
so imagine instead Alexa being like, hey, your mood seems a little off today.
Well, think about,
Hey, you look a little tired. You doing all right?
Are you okay? Do you want me to buy those cookies you like?
I'll throw that thing out the window.
It's very strange, and it's a very insidious thing. And this is really like, this is one of those things where companies just keep announcing these things like they're great and wonderful.
Uh-huh.
And I keep waiting, and I will keep waiting because it will never happen. I keep waiting for legislation to catch up.
Yeah, they're a little busy moving backwards,
Look,
actually, to catch up.
Listen, what they've decided, and this is, I'm just looking now, we have a breaking news from Washington, from the Supreme Court. It is now compulsory to give every new baby a tiny Derringer one-shot pistol.
Uh-huh.
You know, like one of those adorable little pistols from the old 1940s movies, where
so
like
cute.
Lady would pull like a tiny Derringer out of her, out of
a clutch.
Yeah, out of a clutch or a garter belt. We're gonna give babies just a little, just one bullet, because they's just babies. Shooting a gun more than once is gonna make them tired.
Sorry, the phone's ringing. It's actually my congressperson.
Oh, okay.
They're saying that the babies can't have any formula, though.
No.
They're saying they can have tiny guns, but no formula.
No, and they're saying that if your baby needs formula and you can't breastfeed your baby, you're a failure as a human.
They're also saying that, okay, no, I hear you. They're also saying that if I had a baby and it got sick, I go to prison.
Yeah, babies are not allowed to get sick.
Okay. The guns are good. The guns are good for the babies.
But the cool thing is you can have guns in prison now.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
So the baby can take their tiny little gun to visit you in prison.
Yeah, okay. Thanks. Anyways, let's skip the bad news.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk about one little piece of good news.
Listen, we've got a whole bunch of industry news that was in there, and that's why I was going, because I'm gonna
do one good one.
Yeah,
Twitch did a good thing.
We're not in the mood. Yeah, Twitch did a good thing. Hey, it's rare.
And we're gonna just live in it. Twitch is beta testing a good thing. I guess we'll start with that. Twitch hasn't officially done a good thing yet, but a thing that Twitch streamers constantly complain about, if you follow a lot of Twitch streamers, you've probably heard us complain about it before. Twitch has a lack of what we call discoverability. If you're looking for somebody new to watch on the platform, it's almost impossible to do so.
Yeah.
One of the main things that keep people from discovering new Twitch streamers is the commitment of you're probably gonna have to watch like a minute-long ad just to get to see if you even like the content that you'd like to check out.
The worst thing in the world is when you get that minute-long ad on a new streamer.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, recommended, you might like this. And you watch the minute-long ad, and you get into it, and the person's like, not there.
Yeah, they're on a BRB real quick.
They're on a BRB, or they're doing something, and you're just like, I just watched 3 ads to get here, and nothing's going on.
So Twitch is implementing a new feature which changes the way that the browse pages are laid out. So let's say I'm like, hey, I really want to watch somebody playing Minecraft today. I check out the Minecraft category on Twitch. It's still the same way. You see the shelves of all the different people that are streaming. You can organize them by, I think it's like by recommended or by highest to lowest viewers. But in addition to that, and I'm going to pull up an example of it right now.
Yeah,
there we go. Yeah. This is from Loco TV, who does a bunch of great like inside baseball for Twitch streamers, essentially. But these categories here will allow you to now click on this and preview up to a minute of that stream without watching an ad, so you can actually see if this is somebody that you want to watch.
That's really great.
That's excellent. You can search within these categories for tags, which you can already do. But from here, you can just click around and see if, like, man, I really want to watch someone play Fall Guys, and find the one that you want to watch without having to be like, fuck, I'm going to watch some ads to see if this is even somebody who's talking.
Now, this is interesting because it seems to be a direct response to a lot of third-party Twitch clients that have been popping up, particularly for Android and for televisions. I use an app on my TV called Sound TV, and Sound TV does this. If I hover over somebody's stream, it immediately starts playing it.
That's great.
And I don't see any ads. It's unbelievable, and it's really helped me. Like when somebody's like, "Hey, like you might like this stream," I can hover over and I can be like, I absolutely do not like that stream.
Right.
Moving on.
And that's the thing, from the thumbnails, there's no like real description. A lot of the time people set a title and then stream for 8 hours and what they're doing changes. So it was almost impossible, in my opinion, to discover new streamers that weren't from other social media apps.
Now, yeah, and it's weird because there's still a lot of algorithmic stuff that they have to fix. There's still a lot of like the, hey, you might like. I'm wondering, they sort of just base that on who you already follow, and that's not necessarily true, or like, you know what I mean? Like, and then they've tried to help discoverability by being like, we're going to show you the top streamers on Twitch right now, and then some of the people with the lowest numbers because we want to elevate them. But those people, I find often are not algorithmic. Like, they're not connected to anything I like. So they're like, yeah, we're lifting up smaller creators. I'm like, not really, because you're not giving the same algorithmic help to them that you give to the large creators.
Correct.
You're just throwing a bunch of small creators on the bottom of the screen and being like,
We did it.
You don't like any of them? You must not like small creators. Maybe you want to go back up to the top and watch some of these people with thousands of viewers, right?
Yeah, that's probably it.
Because even if you go into categories now and you're like, well, I know that right now I want to watch like a DIY stream, or I know right now I want to watch somebody playing this game. The ways that you can sort this stuff currently is like the most baby way to sort it. It's like, hey, here are the most popular people doing this thing. And it's like, well, I don't necessarily like those.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's the only way to know who's good.
Well, shit, okay, I guess.
All right, I guess I'll do that.
Hey, I've got a piece of very good news, Anthony. The Harley Quinn animated series.
Yes.
What I would consider to be quite possibly the greatest animated series
It's so
of
good.
the last 10 years.
It's amazing.
We know that season 3 is coming. We knew that they were going to give people, they were like, hey, give us some time. Let up. It's hard to make. I was concerned that they took a little maybe time away from that to go make a Kite Man series for some reason. I have my concerns. I hope it's a completely different team.
I think it's a different team, and I think Kite Man is coming out after.
Right. But we hadn't gotten an announcement date for the third season of Harley Quinn.
No, the last thing we got was October 2021. We got that animation is hard and it takes a long time.
Yep. And that was about it. So we now have an update. Warner did a press release where they talked about a lot of things that they have coming up. And what we did find out is that season 3 is coming in July. At some point in July.
Love it.
Now, it is currently June 24th. Not being able to give us a date in July for which day it's releasing when it's currently June 24th is very concerning to me.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that is more, I mean, obviously, you would think, obviously, if they're announcing it, then the animation, the show is done. I'm wondering if it's something where it's just HBO Max deciding where to slot it into the July schedule. It depends on what else is coming out in July. You have it up right now.
Yeah. They've got a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, it looks like, coming to HBO Max, there's
what we got announced for sure was Pretty Little Liars Original Sin rap shit.
F-Boy Island Season 2. I love F-Boy Island. Last Night in Soho is coming out.
The Bob's Burgers movie.
Yeah, so there's stuff coming. It may be that they're just trying to figure out where to slot it in so it doesn't get lost in the schedule.
But I feel like that means they are prioritizing it lower than all of these other things, which definitely disappoints me.
Well, I think, and not, you're not wrong, but I think it probably also comes from like those things were scheduled and they didn't slip. You know what I mean? And like when a show slips like that for whatever reason, it's like, well, now we have to figure out where you fit into this schedule that we've already put out for all the things that are, coming out when we thought they were going to come out. These large
Make room for Harley Quinn. Make room for lesbian kisses, please.
If you have not yet, and you're waiting for season 3 of Harley Quinn, DC put out a comic based specifically on the animated series, a little mini, like a mini series that I think was 6 issues. That's called the Eat Bang Kill Tour.
Yep.
That finishes after the end of season 2. Picks up right from there. And it's a very funny and very good comic that you can read to tide yourself over.
Make room for lady kisses.
Make
HBO.
room for lady kisses.
Please, HBO. Speaking of HBO,
Game of Thrones.
We talked about this on the Wednesday show that there was a rumor that in development, in some stage of development, was a Jon Snow show.
Right. And the idea here was, and the big deal was like, Kit Harington is coming back. And we're like, that's really wild to me. We talked about like, this is a really strange thing. Out of all the shows that they could do for Game of Thrones, why are they doing the Jon Snow show? Like, I feel like, and this is no shade to Jon Snow, I feel like I got enough Jon Snow. I know his story. He walked into ice.
Game of Thrones was the Jon Snow show, and I will say that over and over and over again.
So
we
we were
also
like,
campaigned for an Arya series instead.
So why did this happen? What made it happen? And a theory that we had was finally confirmed. It was Kit Harington's idea.
I guess. That wasn't a theory I had.
I was definitely like, I think this is something where Kit Harington wanted to do it. Because we talked about why is there no Arya show when that makes the most sense. And it's probably because, like, Maisie didn't want to do it.
I don't know. I can't say anything about that. I don't know anything about that. But apparently, in George R.R. Martin's blog post, he said that the sequel, which is currently as a working title just being called Snow, was Kit Harington's idea. And they thought it was a good enough one to try and work on it.
Now, apparently, it has been in development just as long as the other 3 Game of Thrones show. Now, one of them was already axed. The one that was set like thousands and thousands of years before, like at the dawn of what is the name of where they're from Game of Thrones? Thronesville? It was at the beginning
Thronesville.
Yeah, it was at the beginning of Thronesville.
The city of Thronesville.
That one is gone. Then there was, we know we have the Targaryen show coming.
Yep.
And then there is another one, what was it, 10,000 Ships? Is the one that's coming, which is just like cool pirates. Apparently this has been in the works for just as long, but it just didn't get leaked. And so HBO never said anything about it.
So in the blog post, he said, it seems as though Emilia Clarke has already mentioned that Snow was Kit's idea in a recent interview, so that part is out. Yes, it was Kit Harington who brought the idea to us. I cannot tell you the names of the writers or showrunners since it has not been cleared for release yet, but Kit brought them in too, his own team, and they are terrific.
Written by Kit Harington.
Starring.
Directed by Kit Harington. Produced by Kit Harington.
Okay, I guess.
What if it was that? What if it was Kit Harington just making a bunch of cool clips on his phone of how cool Jon Snow is? And he sets up his phone and then he runs into the background and he's like, I'll get you, White Walkers.
See, and it's very interesting too, because obviously Kit Harington has been somewhat recently tied into the Marvel universe, so which, was very much set up that there was going to, in theory, be more because they planted like this little story seed that's important.
Yeah, I think he will be, but also, like, you gotta work when those Marvel movies aren't in production.
I love our chat. Costume design by Kit Harington. Camera opt by Kit Harington. Catered by Kit Harington.
I love, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jon Snow.
Watch it on the Kit Harington channel.
So like, yeah, he's
Kit Harington as Arya Stark.
Skywalker, we love you, and you maybe did not pick up on the fact that we were not trying to spoil that.
Anyways, that's weird. That's okay. It's fine. I'm not like against it happening, but I'm also not in favor of it happening. I'm neutral on the Jon Snow show. It's not for me. It's not what I would have wanted, but like, okay.
See, Dan Dino says Kit Harington plays Arya Stark like he's doing his different parts of his family. He's just like, he puts on, he's just like, Oh, Jon, you're my big brother, and you're so strong and brave, and you taught me everything I know about stabbing. Yes, I did, and thank you for mentioning it, but no, I couldn't take all the credit for it. Oh, Jon, you're being too kind to yourself. You're the best, and you should have been the king of Thronesville, but you didn't want to because you're so brave and cool.
That's the pilot for Snow. They're still working on it, though. I want to end on more of a conversation than a story about Disney films.
Okay.
I thought you were going to join me in this because this was something that you had pulled, but it didn't happen.
I'm ready to join you. I'm ready to join you.
It is a conversation about the love of sisters. Now, when you think of a love of sisters in a Disney film, two sisters, a story of familial bond and love, what movie do you think of?
Lilo and Stitch.
This was for the chat, Anthony.
Lilo and Stitch.
Anthony, this was for the chat.
Lilo and Stitch.
You've
Lilo and Stitch.
Tainted it. You've tampered with the evidence.
Lilo and Stitch.
Well, that is the correct answer, and the creators of Lilo and Stitch are like a little pissed about it.
We do have Encanto.
We have Encanto, totally valid. Hocus Pocus, also totally valid. Those were good answers.
Now, Hocus Pocus is Touchstone, which makes it Disney.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Pride and Prejudice, that's the best, that's the Disney movie. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies by Walt Disney. Now, but little kids will tell you, it's Frozen, baby.
Disagree.
It's Anna and Elsa. Anna and Elsa. Elsa, they're from Thronesville, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're from Froseville.
They're from Froseville?
They're from Froseville.
Samuel L. Jackson is there?
So the director of Lilo and Stitch was kind of like...
It's like, Elsa, where's my suit?
I think it's great and all, but like we did do like sisterhood love before Frozen.
Yeah.
20 years before.
Yeah, Chris Sanders was like, we did it, man. Like, we made that happen. The problem is Lilo and Stitch and The Emperor's New Groove, two of my favorite Disney films.
Yeah.
Two of the only films to come out of the Disney Orlando studio before it was shut down.
Mm-hmm.
The Disney Orlando studio usually just worked on whatever the LA studio was working on. They were given two movies of their own, And I think that they were two brilliant fucking films that were way ahead of their time. So many Disney movies have the same style of humor now that Lilo and Stitch and The Emperor's New Groove have. But back in the day, they were considered like too silly, too wacky, too different from standard
Lilo
Disney.
and Stitch is a perfect movie. So Chris Sanders, one of the co-directors of Lilo and Stitch, said, to be clear, I think that Frozen is great, but it was a little bit frustrating for me because people were like, finally, a non-romantic relationship with these two girls. And I thought, we did that. That's absolutely been done before.
Yeah. Lilo and Nani were like so good.
Oh my God.
So good.
I'm just gonna self-promo for a second. The episode of Damsel's Dice and Everything Nice where we visit Lilo and Nani is the best episode of Damsel's Dice and Everything Nice. I'm just saying it now. That is the best episode of our show because it's based on the best fucking Disney movie.
Now, one of the producers of Lilo and Stitch, Clark Spender, actually told the Times in the same story. He was like, well, actually, like when the film came out, that is what a lot of the critics talked about. But I think the reason that Frozen gets more of the play is I think like Frozen just came out at a time where it was perfect for the people who watched it, and everything about Frozen took off. Whereas like Lilo and Stitch, like people were like, this is what I like about Lilo and Stitch, and they praised that relationship, but people didn't get Lilo and Stitch as a whole at the time.
Yeah.
Which is such a bummer. Such a bummer.
It is. It is a bummer. So this is your reminder to go back and watch Lilo and Stitch. I guess. That's where we're leaving it. I talk about Lilo and Stitch more.
Hey, try to just remember once a day, every day,
To watch
talk
Lilo and Stitch.
about Lilo and Stitch.
Watch it every day.
Once a day, every day. Just watch a double feature of Lilo and Stitch and The Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's all.
And that is all of the show that we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we do this show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific.
Now, if it is not 8 a.m. when we start, or you see that we're not, somehow maybe we're not there for a day, that's probably, you need to check your clock.
Yeah, it probably wasn't actually 8 a.m. then.
Yeah, you need to maybe call your congressman. They're a little busy right now giving guns to babies.
They are.
But like, call them and be like, hey, can you fix whatever's going on with time?
Yeah. And it could be about that, or it can be about our basic human rights. Please remember to yell at your politicians in the street. If you see a politician, scream at them.
Let me tell you this: if you're calling when you're calling your politician to talk about how time isn't working, while you're there, bring up the guns and babies thing.
Yeah.
You might as well get it all out of the way on one call. Actually, you know what? Lead with guns and babies.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Literally just call them about our fundamental basic human rights to our bodies. How about that? That sounds pretty cool. Look, it's an incredibly difficult day. This is something that we knew was going to happen. We talked about this at the beginning of the show, so for those who have joined us late, there's a larger conversation about this at the front of the show. The VOD will be available. Obviously, it's up on YouTube. But there's not enough words in the world that I can say that can express how disgusted I genuinely am with the situation. Unfortunately, we all just have to proceed and keep fucking living.
The fact that this all happened within a week. This is 1 week, 2 weeks of Supreme Court decisions that are it's insulting. It's insulting that they literally are thinking that they're sitting like a ruling class as opposed to a group of people that has been selected to arbitrate things to make sure that they are going the way that we want them to be going in this country.
So remember, not one of these people deserves a moment of peace for the rest of their natural life. Protest outside their houses.
Yeah.
Do it. Protest anywhere that you can. Protest safely, carefully. Utilize the buddy system. Sign up for some of the services in which you'll be able to communicate with people safely to do so, to have someone on the ground knowing where you're at. If you're taking videos at protests, don't show anybody's faces. And fuck the United States Supreme Court.
You may have noticed that throughout the show, if you're new here or you've just been hanging out, you haven't been here for a while, that we have not been calling out as donations have been happening. We want you to know that we do watch those the entire time. And we always do at the end of the show a lovely roll call of all the BBs that directly supported us during the show. Now, we know that some of you have supported us outside of the show. And we know that what is going on here?
Everything is bad. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. You just created a chat thing?
I don't know what's happening. It's gone. So there are other ways to support us that are not monetary. Of course, just following, being here, joining the Discord, retweeting when we go live, telling friends about the show, letting everybody know if you enjoy it that they might enjoy it as well is a huge, huge, huge thing you can do. But we do want to call out the people that specifically supported us during the show. Remember, all of your subscriptions, your Patreon memberships, all of that stuff goes to support the network as a whole. And the money, the donations that you give directly go to the hosts that you see on screen. So thank you very much for that. We want to go ahead and thank everybody who tipped us today. Jesse PB saying, kiss gorgeous, gorgeous girls. Nightcrawler666 with the Prime sub for 11 months saying, just here to button click, catch y'all on the VOD. See you later. Prof Ben with the 5 tier 1 gift subs. Thank you so much for those. 5 new people are trapped here with us. Brad Laserjet with the resub with Prime for 2 months, taking a little money out of the Beezy pocket, saying, I'm very glad I discovered where news actually exists and when it is discussed. Remember, there's no other place to get it. If you,
This is it.
You
This is
have
the
to be
news.
here. Cold Shoulder with the resub for 13 months. That's a Pixel Circus year. Thanks for being a brief respite from things. Going to go donate to reproductive rights orgs now. Good for you. Everybody,
yeah.
please do the same. Am I Will I Am with the gift sub. Thank you. Kurt with the $25 tip. Thank you very much. Revolver Ocelot with the resub for 13 months. That's a Pixel Circus year. Ronan Monkey with the very generous tip. Ronan, you do not have to do that. You are one of our mods. Everybody, please thank our mods. Saying, messing with numbers, and on the serious note, take care of yourselves. You too, Ronan. We appreciate you and everything you do for us. Demo Nacho with the Prime resub for 6 months. That's a good chunk of time. I think you might like us. 54 Aquasnakes with the tip saying, vote Democratic. Vote left. Vote as far left as you can in your local elections.
Yep.
Gentle 37 saying with the resub for 2 months. Chi-Town C 69 with the resub for 2 months saying fuck everything right now. Fuck a lot, but I'll tell you what, they're good people and we're doing our best and y'all babies are among them. Alex Ward,
So many. We gotta speed this up.
Alex Ward 777 saying fuck.
Yeah, right, man.
Captain Awesome with the resub for 18 months. That's a great chunk of time there. CyberGamer92 with the resub for 7 months. Jeremiah was a Bullfrog 3 with the resub for 4 months saying, hey, Saige and Anthony, for the awesome news show. Thank you. We will take that money for the awesome news show. Cassidy Weaver with the resub for 19 months. Am I too early? Always, BB. C. Dandino with the resub for 4 months. THL Katarina was 16 months. BL4 Met with the resub for 12 months, a Gregorian year. Jay Newcomb, 95 with 5 months. Thank you all so much.
We are caught up. Thank you for making the show possible. And also thank you for providing us a platform to come and scream into the void today. I was talking with the mods just now and we did debate canceling the show. I definitely considered it. But having a place and a community of people to come and discuss this with is incredibly helpful. And we're very, very grateful to have such a kind community and a community that we trust so much to go out in the world and be very good BBs. I did drop some links in the chat there. You can see them right there. That's for abortion funds and the Lilith Fund, 2 excellent ways to support people's access to safe abortions right now.
If you are a patron, you should know that Saige has to roll off to VidCon immediately after we're done here, so we will get you your patron clip. You get 1 a week. We'll get you that next week. You should also know that we are going to be taking a couple days off next week as well for some work stuff that I have to do, but we will definitely be here on Monday for you, BBs. So have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you there.
Bye, friends.